Images. How do you add an image? The image tag is IMG. Not OMG, IMG. You might have noticed Blue Gryphon didn't add a twin. Images don't have a twin. And because the image I'm looking for is in fact in a different folder, where specifically? Inside of here, we have to tell it to find that folder. How? Because instead of typing the name, where we would instead get a broken image symbol, the alt is supposed to be a text that displays when in place of this. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. The problem is, as you might have guessed, broken image symbol and no alt text. So how do we fix this? Well, I can't say for sure about the alt text unless I open this web page in its own browser. Let's see what happens if I do that right now. Let me open this in Firefox. Nothing even shows up. Okay, so there we go, it does show up. It just acts differently in Blue Gryphon. That's informative, that's quite informative. But we can fix this. See, I just said it was a folder. We need to specify that folder right now. One dot because it's one folder down. Cases don't matter. The image is there. This image is way too big. Let's fix that right now. Yeah, I guess what that means. We're using external CSS again. And by now you should already know how referring to tags works. You don't need periods, you don't need hashtags, you just need the tag name itself. But now, as you might have guessed, I'm going to copy and paste it. Why? Okay, you probably wouldn't have guessed this, but this is to show off a little something. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to add an ID to one of these images to help separate it from the other. In fact, let's add 3 for this purpose. They're all going to share the same class, but one of them is going to get an ID. Alright, we got that going. Oh, I had it blocked the entire time. There, I'll let you see it for a moment. I gave the first image an instance of an ID, and all 3 of them the same class name. So, guess what's going to happen? Back in the CSS department, it will not let me it will not let me drag copy. I legitimately have to copy paste. Change the width a little and see what happens. So now they're all a little larger, because they all share the same class, but we only want that to work for 2 of them. So guess what we're going to do? Going with the ID of smaller gets to be a width of 100 instead. And now we get to save the document, which means as soon as we refresh it, it's going to change yet again. Now the one with the class as of smaller, but with all of them have the same class name, but with the ID of smaller, overrides those settings. So yes, image can be affected by ID and class as well, because it's also a tag. And now I'm going to explain what links do in HTML. I'm going to give a text link and an image link. Yep, that's right. the A tag specifies links, and it has a twin. If you do not put the HTTPS and the junk in front of it, you will not refer to a web page. You will instead refer to a local page. You do not want that. Let's head back over to Firefox for a moment. It's nowhere to be seen. You can't just put links in there as is. They need to contain text. Or an image. So as you can see, I even added an alt to this. I really gotta pay attention to when I show and hide the CSS page. The CSS parchment, I should say. I put the alt in there and it still didn't show up. We need to apply text to this. We're going to do this right now. There it is. That's how we know it works. We can do the same thing with an image. How else? Let's throw in yet another dark mega symbol in here. Or broken mega symbol, I need to say. We're going to throw a smaller one in here this time. But we're not just going to copy paste it in there. Don't get any ideas. We're going to do the most realistic thing possible. Let's take this link we just made, drag copy it here, and then close that tag. I'm not used to Blue Griffin doing that for me. I'm not used to getting help with this. So, sure enough, it should work, right? Let's save it and find out. The first time we just had a link that points to this. I'm control clicking, by the way. But now, if I refresh, it does the same exact thing. You need to put text inside of a document that contains a link. You cannot put a link anywhere in a document by itself. It will not work. Links alone do not work. They need text. The image part is just all fancy stuff. You can put any media in there and surround it with a link, and it will turn into a hyperlink in this manner. There needs to be something in there in order for it to work. That is how links work. That is how hyperlinks work. And at the same time, that is how images work. Now, I do believe we need to ask ourselves one more question. We have ourselves external CSS, we have ourselves a hyperlink, especially one with text. So naturally, we're going to ask ourselves, can this be affected by CSS? Let's find out. Oh, CSS document. And since it is an HTML, excuse me, since it is in fact an HTML tag, naturally, we're going to treat it as such. Oh boy, it does work. It does. It does. Killed the immersion. Let's mess with this some more. And then let's check Firefox. But there's a problem with this. When you click on it, it doesn't tell you if you clicked on it this way. It doesn't. So, while this is some fancy pants way to make hyperlinks look really nice, it's not all that advised. Hey, I need to ask myself something here. Hmm. Excuse me? Text decoration none? Let me try that right now. And so if I go back to Firefox, sure enough, sure enough. I hope that helps. There's one more thing I'd like to do before I explain forms. Give me a moment to do that.